Hi everyone, welcome back to the Book Buck channel. I'm Bukhtawar, and as always, I talk about books. So I don't know what order this video is going to, because I'm kind of shooting a slew of them as a bit of a comeback, if you like. So I don't know which order this video is going to be put up in. But anyway, I was sent this cute little whimsical book of poetry by Markings Publishing, and Markings Publishing is a Pakistani publisher that publishes books related to art and photography and lifestyle. So they have books, with really beautiful pictures and really beautiful, photography and all of that. So this is a new launch. It came out on Independence Day. It's called One Teaspoon of Home Desi Food Poetry by Noor and it's absolutely beautiful. I fell in love with it right away because, as you might know if you've been following me on Instagram, that I've been on a rather restrictive diet. So obviously all of this food has a lot more appeal than it normally would. So it's a collection of about 24 short poems with just the most beautiful illustrations. Let me show you a few. And they're made by this amazing illustrator whose Instagram handle is, I'll link it in the description below. It's Quirky Kahaniya, I believe. I leave all the details in the description below, and I think you should really go and give her a follow because she really has beautiful, beautiful illustrations. I'm looking at them and not showing you any. So this is, I think, the poem Kashmiri Chai and Pan. I don't know how much you can see it, but I'm gonna try to bring it close to the camera as well. Or I'll do like a separate shot and I'll show you a few of them. Shami Anda, well-loved favorite in university. So, so I think that the author is from Lahore. She's a Lahori and she lives abroad. So this is also like, it's a very nostalgic book and you can feel that. And food is depicted in a very kind of fantastical fashion. All the different delicacies have their own personality, they have their own message to say, and they have their own history, almost their cultural history. And so food is very much a constant stabilizing factor, and it's something that the author seems to really miss a great deal. And of course, I'm also what I like to call a pseudo Lahori, because I was born in Lahore but raised elsewhere, but I really have an attachment to the same sort of the same treats as she does. And also, when you're kind of going through the book, you also feel that we think that our personality and the things that inspire us are shaped by really big, important factors, but it's also shaped by things which are much simpler in nature, like food. And by no means am I saying that making food is simple. I find it much more complicated than reading philosophy or science or anything else like that. So it is, of course, quite a science in itself, and that's not what I mean to insinuate. But food, because we have a relationship with it every day, where we kind of we undermine the influence that it has on our psyche and the way we grow up and the things that we form an attachment to. So the book, all in all, is it's very cheery and optimistic. While it's meant to be nostalgic and such as well, but it's also funny in its own way. The poems are they're idyllic, and yet they have a bit of humor mixed in. So they're they're poems to remind you of home, or to make you, if you already live at home as I do, it's to remind you of what really matters in life. The simpler pleasures of life. Me and my husband really take a lot of pride in being what we call hobbits. We like being at home, and the simple pleasures of home, like having a cup of tea or watching a movie, as opposed to going out a lot or such. There's a lot to be said, which is also why the book kind of resonated with me so much. And it's enchanting. There's illustrations of mithai ki dukans and roadside delicacies and everything. So it's enchanting in its own way, which is why I think that it's a good read for children as well. So parents can keep it in their kitchen, they can have it on coffee tables around the house. So like if someone visits or if there's children around, I think that they would also take a lot away from the book. Also, the food is very much, for all of us, it's a shared kind of almost cultural experience, isn't it? Whether we admit it or not. A lot of the bonding that we're able to do with other people is kind of based on, like when you first make friends with people, you're like, oh, let's go eat this. And it's similar tastes that kind of, help you make connections with people. And the dishes and the treats they're given an almost anthropomorphic quality. So as I mentioned before, they have their own personality. They seem to have their own motives and agenda, with some food being more duplicitous than others. Like, for example, there's a poem in here called Jalebi, I believe, and it talks about how the jalebi is kind of sticky. So it's sticky and sugary, so it draws you in, but it's a promise that is never fulfilled. So there's obviously different qualities attached to the food, which I rather appreciate as opposed to it being, just kind of blank. And I actually like all the food that's mentioned in here, but golgappe in particular, because me and my father enjoy golgappas a lot, and I know that a lot of people don't like them, but me and my father enjoy the meetha golgappas with the meathi chutney. So it makes you smile going through all of it. There's a childlike fascination in the way that the poems are written, as if you're viewing the food for the first time, or paying microscopic attention to it, the way it looks and the way it feels and what it's trying to say. So before I conclude today's videos, there's going to be a lot more. I'm going to be more regular, I promise, fingers crossed. So I just thought that I'd introduce my husband as well, who is now going to be called Book Hubby, and he's a great reader and a medical doctor. So presenting Dr. Muzaffar, and yes, you'll be seeing the two of us quite a bit. Bye.
Bye.